All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Monday, September 18th, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Going pretty good. Didn't do too good on my picks for Friday and Saturday, but I went 4-8 total. I went 0-4 on my NFL picks.
I went 7-6 total. I was 4-1 on baseball on Friday, 2-2 on college football on Saturday, and then I was 1-3 on the NFL. Only game I got right was the Colts. Hey, how's it going, Glenn? Yeah, I didn't do real good in the NFL. I had the Colts. Hell, I took the Bengals. They lost. Chargers lost. And then Lions.
I tell you, I think Chargers. It's only 2 games in, but I think it's time for a new coach.
Yeah, they have a lot. Excuse me. They have a lot of talent on that team for to be doing how they're doing, especially when he's supposed to be a defensive coach, and it seems like their defense can't stop nobody. Offense has been playing pretty well these first 2 games, but what's going on there?
And Detroit looks pretty good. I mean, they got beat, but that's still the thing that worried me about Detroit is learning how to win. They're still, they won a big game last week, but they still got to find a way to win those close games. And I'd like to see them get over the hump this year and do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, they had plenty of chances to win that game yesterday. The interception at the end ends up killing you.
Yep. Anybody from the NFL standing out to you right now? Any team? It's early.
I'd probably say the 49ers. They look like a pretty complete team. They're real good on defense, and they're pretty good on offense as well with all the weapons they have.
I was surprised McAfee. The 2 teams he said that's 2 weeks in don't mean nothing. He said, but right now the 2 teams that stand out to him is Miami and Dallas. Which I thought Miami's defense looked pretty good last night. I thought their offensive line at times locked New England off the ball, but New England still somehow stayed in the game. I don't know. I'm not completely sold on Miami. I think they've got a good team. Whether they're a Super Bowl team or not, I don't know.
Yeah, and Dallas, with Dallas, they got a good defense, but I'm not real confident in their offense, especially when you get in some of these bigger games with the Prescott way he's looked in some of these bigger games against
They've got the
49ers
weapons.
and some of these teams.
Yeah, I feel like they've got the weapons.
Yeah, But
yes.
they beat the Giants, who looked terrible. Other than they did end up coming back, but they looked terrible the first half of that game,
They look terrible.
and then
First half of this,
and then they beat the Jets, who
got a quarterback that's hurt.
don't have a quarterback. So I want to see what they do against a little bit better team. Rams have looked better than what I was thinking they would be as well.
agree.
They've looked good.
And I tell you, a team that I told you earlier, I think I said it to you last night, Atlanta is. I'm not saying they're a playoff team yet or anything. We'll see. They're 2-0, but they're a scrappy team, man. They're really working hard for that coach, and I've been impressed by them. I was real impressed in that Green Bay game, coming back and beating Green Bay.
Yeah, worries me a little bit is their quarterback. Is he going to be able to make enough plays for him?
Yep.
But they got a hell of a running game. Their defenses look pretty good. No, we got a couple games tonight. I'm surprised about the Bengals. I thought the Bengals would look better than what they've looked. But I guess that if you think about it, they got off to an 0-2 start last year too. So
yeah,
they haven't got off to a good starts the last couple seasons.
You know, the quarterback threw 5 interceptions last year, the first game, and he played real bad this year, first game. They say that he's still not healthy, and a lot of people are pointing to that. So
We're gonna have to get something going because can't afford to keep losing games.
no,
Especially not in the AFC. You might be able to get away with that more in the NFC, but
well, Baltimore's 2-0 already, looking decent.
Baltimore's going to get their first loss this week.
Really got the Colts.
Yeah.
What, do you think Richardson's going to play?
I think he will. But I mean, you never know when you're in that concussion protocol. But a lot of times they're usually, especially what happened. I mean, so quick early in the game like that. I mean, he has quite a bit of time. I thought the Colts looked good. Sucked that he got hurt. But.
Yeah, it did. But I'm glad we got the backup that we got. I think we got as good as backup as in the league. People may take this the wrong way. At this point, he's a better passer than Richardson is. I'm not saying I want him to start over Richardson. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying as far as accurate passing right now, he's a better passer. But he's definitely not the threat of running or not the threat that Richardson is on the field.
No, but he has to be able to stay healthy. He's looked good. He's looked good when he's been out there playing. I mean, he hasn't played bad, but
I thought our defense looked pretty good for the most part. I thought the offensive line is not looking bad. I read an article trying to blame the offensive line for Richardson's injuries. Both these injuries had nothing to do with the offensive line. Neither one.
On this one, to me, it was more that he pulled up as he was going in the end zone like he didn't think anybody was going to hit him. You can't do that. You got to be ready.
The first one, he
took a shot trying to get in the end zone.
Trying to get in the zone, head first, took a chance, and they can hit you then.
Yeah, but this one, he wasn't even – I don't think he was ready to get hit.
Yep.
I think he thought he was just going to walk in, nobody was going to hit him. And
he's definitely got to learn to protect himself.
And I think it was more the way he landed than anything because his head kind of whip-flashed back off the ground. I think that was more of it than anything. But
This is the first time he will be at Warrior Pro Wrestling since June. I know David said that if you didn't show up this time, you're done. What David Kraft told me.
All right. Well, we got one baseball game going on right now. You have the Guardians and the Royals. Guardians are up 4-2, bottom of the 6th. All right, my first game for tonight is going to be New York Mets at the Miami Marlins. The Marlins are 1.5 run favorites at home, minus 162 on the money line. The Mets are plus 136 on the money line. Over under for this game's at 8.5 runs. The Mets are 69 and 80 on the season, 30 and 44 on the road. They'll have Budo on the mound, who's 1-2 with a 3.46 ERA. The Marlins are 78 and 72 on the season, 43 and 32 at home. They'll have Cabrera on the mound, who's 6-7 with a 4.52 ERA. I like the Marlins here on the money line. Next game, Minnesota Twins at the Cincinnati Reds. Twins are 1.5 run favorites, minus 154 on the money line. The Reds are plus 130 on the money line. Over-unders at 9.5 runs. Twins are 79 and 71 on the season, 36 and 39 on the road. They will have Ryan on the mound, who's 10 and 9 with a 4.20 ERA. Reds are 78 and 73 on the season, 36 and 39 at home. They will have Phillips on the mound, who's 0-0 with the 8.31 ERA. I like the Reds here at the plus 1.5. Phillips has pitched pretty good when he has pitched. The ERA isn't great, but he pitched a good 4 or 5 innings and got left in a little too long, and gave up some runs. So Reds have been playing pretty good baseball. I know they lost their last game, but they won like 5 or 6 out of their last 7 or 8 games.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Reds at the plus 1.5. Next game, Milwaukee Brewers at the St. Louis Cardinals. Brewers are 1.5 run favorites, minus 178 on the money line. The Cardinals are plus 150 on the money line. Over-unders at 8.5 runs. Brewers are 64 and 65 on the season, 39 and 35 on the road. The Brewers have Peralta on the mound, who's 12 and 8 with a 3.79 ERA. Cardinals are 66 and 83 on the season, 32 and 42 at home. Cardinals have Wainwright on the mound, who's 4 and 11 with a 7.95 ERA. I like the Brewers on the money line in this game. Then you have the Boston Red Sox at the Texas Rangers. Rangers are 1.5 run favorites, minus 166 on the money line. The Red Sox are plus 140 on the money line. Over-unders at 8.5 runs. Red Sox are 74 and 76 on the season, 36 and 38 on the road. On the mound for the Red Sox is Crawford, who's 6 and 7 with a 4.26 ERA. The Rangers are 82 and 67 on the season, 45 and 30 at home. They will have Montgomery on the mound, who's 9 and 11 with a 3.47 ERA. I like the Rangers here at home on the money line. So my picks for Major League Baseball are going to be Reds plus 1.5, Marlins money line, Brewers money line, and the Texas Rangers on the money line.
Okay, my picks from Major League Baseball tonight. I've got the Mets at the Marlins. I'll take the Marlins money line. I got the Phillies at the Braves. I'll take Braves money line. Brewers money line at the Cards. I got Seattle money line at Oakland, and I got Colorado at San Diego. I'll take San Diego money line. And just to update everybody, right now the Reds are tied for the 3rd spot. No, take that back. We were not tied for the 3rd spot. We're half game back from the 3rd spot and 1 game back from the 2nd spot. So Miami and Chicago's tied for the 3rd spot. We're half game behind them and 1 game behind Arizona for the 2nd spot. So we're definitely in the hunt for one of them spots.
Yeah. So they just got to keep winning some series. Got to keep winning some series. At this point, to stay in the hunt and keep giving yourself a chance.
Toronto's come back and got in. They're in that 2nd spot by a half game in the American League, and Texas is in the 3rd spot with Seattle a game back. Of course, Tampa Bay's got that first spot, and I think they've got that pretty well wrapped up. They're probably still battling for the division, I would assume. I mean, they've won 92 games. They got to be fairly close.
Yeah. Well, they'd led that division most of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Because I think Seattle had overtook. Well, Seattle had overtook it once. Or no, is that the other division? That's the other division, I think.
Yeah, Baltimore's though.
Yeah. Baltimore.
Well, what do you think about college football this past weekend?
It was okay. There wasn't a whole lot of real good matchups this weekend. I think Colorado State might have showed people that Colorado is a good football team, but we might need to settle down on making them a top 5, top 10 college football team yet.
And now they've got 2 real tough games, and they've lost one of the better players for probably at least 2 weeks, and I think it's going to be longer. If it's true, he's got a lacerated kidney, which I read. I think it's going to be more than a couple weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't heard what the injury was. I'd heard that heard this morning that they thought he was going to miss at least a couple weeks. Like I say, I think Colorado's a good team. I think everybody got a little too excited and started putting them up there in the top, they're a top 5, top 4, top 5 team.
I don't think they're a top 10 team yet because of the defense.
Yeah, their defense has to get better.
If they get a defense, with the offense they have, and
defense has to get better, and I don't think they have a good enough offensive line yet against some of these top colleges.
Against a Georgia or something.
Yeah. But
with the struggles Alabama.
But don't get me wrong. Hey, they've made a hell of a turnaround, and Deion Sanders has a good thing going on there. I think they're going to have a good year this year, and I think they're building in the right direction. I think he'll get them up there being maybe able to compete with some of them other schools. I just don't think it's going to be this year. I don't think they have the size on the lines for one. You're going against Texas and Georgia, some of these guys that they're so big on the offense and defensive lines that it can be hard to match up with them. He gets those bigs in there. I think that team could.
I don't know how you think they would fare against a team like Alabama. I mean, Alabama is struggling right now, not in the top 10. First time since 2015 not being in the top 10.
Yeah. I think it's probably a pretty good game. Alabama's problem is right now is offensively. They have not looked good they've looked pretty good defensively, but they're not.
Well, they give up a lot of points to Texas. I mean, that's why I wonder. How if Colorado's offense can put points on.
I think a lot of teams would give up points to Texas. I just don't know if Alabama would be able to score points. And now they're going back to the other quarterback. I don't know why he changed the quarterback after one game anyway.
Yeah, Denver blew that game. You're right.
Yeah,
really does. Do you think Texas could be a playoff team in college football?
I think they have a shot. Ewers needs to stay healthy. He got hurt last year, and that hurt him. If he can stay healthy and he can keep playing consistent, I think they're going to will, because I think they have pretty good defense as well. They look like a pretty balanced team so far.
What do you think? I kind of think maybe right now.
And Georgia struggled with South Carolina there for a little while. So I mean,
right now,
and you're going to have that some too. So
yeah,
I mean,
it's early. I think right now, if I was going to pick 4 teams, I'd go with Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, which I know that can be complicated because they're going to play each other at the end of the year, and Texas would be my 4 teams right now. Of course, it's very early in the year.
Yeah, I like Michigan. If they can stay healthy, I think they would have had a good chance of maybe being in the national championship game last year if that running back one got hurt. And this year their quarterback is better better than what they was last year. So I think their passing game's a little better. So I do like Michigan. Ohio State,
We're going to find out a little
I
bit.
think it's
this
pretty
week.
good. I want to find out a little more about that quarterback.
I think we're going to find out something this week. They play Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So we'll see something about both teams. How good's Notre Dame? How good's Ohio State? And then Colorado, is it USC this week?
Oregon.
Oregon this week, and you said USC next week.
Yeah.
That's a big game against Oregon. So a lot better games this week coming up in college football than last week.
Oh, no. I mean, that Colorado State game ended up
was-
being a fun game to watch.
It was a good game. I
I've never-
watched it.
I wouldn't have thought that it was going to be going into overtime like that.
Well, most people thought that, honestly, that Colorado was going to beat them by 20 points or more.
Yeah. All right, and the NFL tonight got two Monday night games.
I forgot about that.
I don't like the way they're doing it. One starts at 7, the other starts at 8. I like it better when they done
We're
the.
going to be on ESPN. We're going to be on ABC.
I like it better when they do when they've done one like at 7 and the other one like at 9 or 10, than doing them basically at the same time. But
We got Cleveland one game, right?
figure the way they look at it is they own both networks, so they're getting
Yeah.
ratings. They're getting
good way.
ratings either way. So, but first game is the Saints and Panthers. Game starts at 7:15. Saints are 3-point favorites, minus 168 in the money line. Over unders at 39.5. I like the Saints in this game at the -3. Saints have a good defense and their offense. Their offense didn't look great in week 1 with Carr, but I think they'll get even a little better. Carolina, I think they don't have enough on offense yet. You got a rookie quarterback still kind of figuring things out. So I'm gonna go with the Saints at the -3, and then you have I thought about the under 39.5. I'm gonna stay away from it, but I can see this being a low scoring game. And then you have the Browns at the Steelers. The Browns are 2.5-point favorites. This game starts at 8:15. Browns are 2.5-point favorites on the road, minus 126 on the money line. I like the Browns here. Over under is at 38.5. I'm gonna go with the Browns at the minus 2.5. Steelers offense is what worries me. The Steelers have a good defense. Browns have a good defense as well. And I right now I trust the Browns offense a little more than I do the Steelers offense. I think it's a combination of Pickett still learning, and I really don't care for that offensive coordinator candidate that the Steelers have. So I'm in NFL now. I'm gonna go with the Saints at the -3 and the Browns at the -2.5.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. I'm going the Saints -3 and Browns -2.5. What do you think about Frankie's comment there that New England, the refs cost him that game last night?
Trying to think of what play he's talking about.
There was a couple calls that were. I don't think that's what cost him the game, though. New England's got to play better. They didn't play real great, especially honestly the first 3 quarters.
I was gonna say, the offense started moving the ball better later in the game. If their offense could have moved the ball a little bit better earlier in the game, I think they would have they might win that game.
There was times that Miami was knocking him off the ball. I mean, I even told you that. I think that was in the 3rd quarter when I told you that. Yeah, I thought there was pass interference. The first down, man, it was close. What I didn't understand is why didn't they ever measure?
Yeah, I didn't understand why they didn't measure, but I
if
thought
the ball was that close, why
Yeah.
didn't they bring out the sticks and measure at least?
on the replay, I thought he had the first down. I didn't think it was the greatest spot, and then they went back and looked at it and they left the ball there. But yeah, they should have
I
measured.
think they should have measured because how do you know if the line's right? Because you know that imaginary line's not always right. So
Yeah.
why didn't they come out and measure? I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I thought it was a first. I thought it was a first down, but there was a couple passes on the sideline again where the Patriot receivers aren't doing a great job of getting their feet down. There was a couple, at least one in that game. I thought they should have got their feet down and could have changed. And I know they had a couple the first game. I think the Patriots are a pretty good team. They just haven't been able to find a way to win yet. I mean, they played a couple tough teams. They played the Eagles, and you're right there, and you played the Dolphins, and it was right there. So I mean, I think they're a better team than what people think they are.
I think the offensive line
and they had chances. They had chances that they could have won that game. He said, but I agree. If we make some plays in the first half and not do comebacks in the second, we have a shot. Yeah.
Yeah. The offensive line's got to play better so they can run the ball. They want to be a running team, and they're not doing a real good job of that right now. But I think they'll get it figured out. I really do. I think New England's better than what I thought they were.
I like their defense. Their defense has been playing
pretty good.
Has impressed me the last or the first two seasons.
Do you think Miami's for real? Let me ask you that.
I mean, I think they're if you say for real, as are they? I think they're a deep playoff contender. I don't think they're a Super Bowl. I don't see them making it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC.
That's probably not a fair question because it's only been 2 games.
But I mean, I think they're going to be a contender. I think they'll have a shot at the East. I still favor Buffalo a little over them. And I know the Chiefs haven't looked great, but it's hard for me to write the Chiefs off.
Yeah, it's early. It's so early. Like I said, it's off early to ask that question.
The Chiefs' offense hasn't looked very good at all. I mean, even yesterday with having Kelsey back and some of the guys. I mean, Jacksonville had a lot of chances that game could have been different.
Yeah, Kansas
City's defense impressed me yesterday, but their offense couldn't really get going. And I thought Jacksonville's defense played pretty good, but they couldn't get no consistency on their offense.
Yeah, that's true. He's got to step up for the bigger games. Jacksonville's quarterback, but he's still young. So,
last I heard, Franklin Richardson, he's in the concussion protocol, so as long as he gets out of that, he'll be good to play this week. And on that, to me, he let up as he was going to the end zone, and he took a shot he shouldn't have took, and then the way he landed, his head bounced off that turf.
Sure.
I mean,
well, then he played after that, didn't he?
He played one series, maybe another one, and then all of a sudden he was out.
Took him to the tent, and
and then
had some symptoms.
Once I saw him walk into the locker room, I was like, "Fuck, he probably isn't coming back." But no, it was. I'm happy with the way he's been playing. Other than you got to protect yourself better, but I mean, I think his throwing will get better.
Yeah, I do too.
There's a few of them that sometimes I think he throws the ball a little too hard.
A little hard.
On some of the shorter ones, he'll try to really fire it in there sometimes. But I like the way he's playing. He's actually, if you look at all the rookie quarterbacks, he's playing.
Oh yeah,
just as good, if not the best, out of any of them. I mean,
I know that
Stroud didn't play. Stroud played all right yesterday.
They got behind. And they were just throwing the ball. So I mean, I'm not taking.
Early in that game, Stroud couldn't do nothing against the Colts defense. And later in the second half, the Colts. I hate when teams do that. You get a big lead and then you start softening up your defense a little bit, and then you almost mess around, and let the team get back in it a little bit. And we'll see what Young looks like tonight. Bryce Young he didn't look real great week one. Richardson's biggest problem so far is he hasn't been able to make it through the whole game yet. First game he got knocked out right at the end, and in this game he gets knocked out in the first half.
What do you think about the Redskins? 2-0?
I was surprised they came back and won that game yesterday.
They looked like terrible that first half.
I don't know if Levis is going to be the best quarterback out of the draft, but I do think he could be starting for the Titans here in a few weeks. He's hurt right now, but he gets back, and if Tannehill played better yesterday, but if Tannehill keeps playing like he did the first week, I can see Levis being in them giving Levis a shot. But Tannehill did play better yesterday, and Tennessee picked up a big win. Like I said, there was a lot of games yesterday. Like I said, my picks didn't do real good yesterday because I thought the Bengals would beat the Ravens. Lamar looked a lot better week 2 than he did week 1 in that offense.
Who's going to be the first NFL coach to get fired? I know it's real early to ask.
I would have to say that right now, if I had to pick one, it'd be the Chargers
That's
coach. If
me
he,
too.
especially the way he's been. With the Chargers coach, because I mean, they shouldn't be. You shouldn't be 0-2. I'm not saying they had it. I mean, the Miami first week, that's a tough game. That could go either way. I could see that, but you can't lose that game yesterday.
Yeah, but when your offense plays that good against Miami, your defense has to do something, Chris.
Oh yeah,
You put up,
and
you put up 37 points or whatever it was, and lose.
And he's supposed to be a defensive coach.
Yeah, I don't.
Frankie says the Bengals or the Vikings coach.
I don't think it'll be the Bengals. Let's say just go 0-8, 0-9 or something. I don't see the Bengals giving up on him. Do you?
No, just because of the success they've had the last couple of years, and a lot of people are blaming on Burrow's calf. But for some reason, the Bengals haven't got off to good starts. Like last year, they were 0-2.
Yeah,
I mean they don't get off to a good start of the season for some reason. The Vikings coach, I could see that if they keep losing, because I mean, hell, their defense has to start playing better.
How about the Bears? What if they lose 5 or 6 in a row? You think that coach could be
Maybe,
injured?
yeah. Yeah, that team's not looking good at all. I don't know what the problem is there. Everybody was saying Justin Fields is going to be the MVP of the NFL this year, and he isn't looking any better than he did last year. And I mean, last year everybody says because he didn't have weapons. They went and tried to get him some weapons, but they still haven't been able to put it together yet. I like Eberflus because, like I said, he was a good defensive coordinator in Indianapolis, but as a head coach so far, he hasn't been able to get it put together there.
Well, I know
last year they didn't have a whole lot of talent, but I mean, you got to start showing some improvement, or they're not going to keep you around too long.
I don't know. It's only 2 games in, and Fields still young. I don't know. I don't know if he's the guy or not. Yeah, that's. I was going to say that's what's his name. Part of ASAP. Bears.
Mike.
He was going crazy about nothing but screen passes. He said that's one thing. He's not happy with the offensive coordinator at all. He thinks he should be gone.
Yeah, but I think when they hired him, I don't think he really had any experience as an offensive coordinator either. So that was when they hired him last year. So that was another thing that was like a little mind-boggling about it. All right. Well, do you have anything else before we get out of here for today?
No, I don't think so.
Don't forget tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Join us for Gonzo's Wrestling Room GWR. My picks for today, I'll go over them one more time real quick. Major League Baseball, I'm going with the Reds at the +1.5. Marlins money line, Brewers money line, and the Rangers on the money line. NFL tonight, I'm going with the Saints at the -3 and the Browns at the -2.5. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Also check out All Sports All Plays Network, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram as well.
Love you too, Frankie.
We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show, right around 3 o'clock. Like I said, don't forget, check us out tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern for GWR Gonzo's Wrestling Room. Hope everybody has a great Monday, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.